Welcome everyone to the 7th annual S.H.E Summit. It's so great to see all of you. This is always such a special moment. I cannot believe this is my 7th year of doing this. First, I want to really acknowledge every single one of you for being here and showing up these 2 days. The fact that you responded to a conference whose tagline was Activating Change Agents for Equality, and that is about accelerating equality by activating talent in the global workplace, shows that every single one of you here are here for something bigger than just your personal means, right? That you are here because you care about impacting humanity and people in a bigger way. And I know, by the way, that we are all so busy. We have such crazy schedules, juggling our jobs, our teams, our finances, our social obligations, and our children. So I just we have to fight for that time, for this personal development, and for this well-being time for ourselves. So I just want to take a moment and thank all of you, and let's just give everybody an applause for showing up today. So quickly, 2012, why did I launch S.H.E Summit in 2012? I realized that about 6-7 years ago, that women around me were not engaged in women's issues. I'd spent 10 years running a women's entertainment company in that sort of Sex and the City 2000s era, and I realized women cared more about shoes and material things than they did about their own empowerment. And so I wanted to take my women's marketing skills and create a platform that would inspire masses of women to care about women's issues and to become change agents and drive change for things that matter to them as women. And so S.H.E Summit was born in 2012. And since then, and the whole idea was to put role models on stage to inspire other women to want to rise and do good. And so since then, we've had over 450 women on our stage. Can you believe that? And so then, fast forward, it's 6 years later, 2018, citizens are engaged, most people care about women's issues, and yet, the inequalities and the injustices for women and really diverse, all people, right, have been further revealed, and especially in this Time's Up era. And I thought to myself, okay, so most people care about women's issues. What's the next level and what's the next phase of impact? And that's when it was interesting, because over the years of doing S.H.E Summit, we always had to partner. We relied on corporate partnerships to actually raise the money, right, to create these conferences and to create our programming. And I realized it pulled us into this work where we started advising and helping internal leaders at organizations drive culture change and create programs around their diversity and women's network programs. And I started seeing the impact that we were having on individuals by supporting a person inside of an organization, the impact of actually inspiring that person to be a corporate change agent. And so it's one thing to impact one person and inspire them to do good, but when you're inspiring somebody to do good in the context of an organization that employs 100 people, 10,000 people, 100,000 people, we just started seeing the enormous impact. And so here in this Time's Up era, we thought, what is the next level of the S.H.E Summit movement? What is the next level of our work in terms of driving equality? We're 217 years to gender equality. And I realized, wow, corporations are one of the greatest, most powerful resources we have to actually accelerate equality. And if we can actually inspire this new generation of people inside corporate to drive that change, then we could that's the next ripple effect. And so that is our new movement. You're seeing right now the new S.H.E logo. It has the equal sign in the middle. We launched a new logo this year, and it stands for she, he, and everything in between and beyond, and to activate she's and he's, women and men, to change the equation, to drive that change, and to change the equation in workplaces. So the whole next movement now is, and if you think about it, there's been so many women entrepreneurs creating solutions and businesses and initiatives, and also, nonprofit organizations and humanitarians and activists. But have we truly tapped into the power of people inside organizations and activating them to change the equation and to change traditional workplaces to accelerate equality? So that is the theme over the next 2 days, and what we rooted our sessions in is change the equation and changing what it takes to get to equality. You see, when I think about the workplace and the fact that we're 80 cents of the man's dollar, the fact that we're still so far from like equality and leadership positions and on so many levels, and forget about, Me Too movement, right? Like, hey, sexual harassment's always been around. We're just actually talking about it right now. But the thing is that it's not, we've been trying to fix a broken system. The solution that most companies have always had to drive gender equality in the workplace was diversity and inclusion, and it actually started in the 1960s. Xerox started it, and it's been around for decades, and yet we still haven't made that much progress, and so why is that? And so what we found in talking to over 100 companies a year and on our work in organizations is that we've been trying to create these programs and these networks inside of a system that was really designed for white men. And we actually need to redesign what the workplace looks like. So these next 2 days is about, changing the equation on what does it take to get to equality? What does it take to heal our own stuff inside so that we can heal the world? That's our next topic with Zainab Salbi. What does it take for us to lead conscious lives and not just live our life in the world, but lead our lives for something bigger and really live consciously? What does it take to create cultures that are truly diverse, that support women, but all groups of people, people of color, and people of all diverse backgrounds? What does it take to have courageous conversations on inclusion and race and all these difficult topics, because we cannot fix what we cannot talk about? What does it take to acknowledge our own biases, because every single one of us have them, and we put judgments and we imprint judgments on other people without even knowing it? What does it take to get men? I mean, we know we need to get men involved in the movement, but for us to actually speak to our men at home and at work and to actually create the space for them to enter and actually figure out what solutions, because that's a whole new paradigm. We gotta actually figure out what men can do, right? And have them come together and convene and figure it out. What does it take for us to create new policies around caregiving and leave and flexibility? Because again, the current system isn't designed to support women and families or fathers. And I think so much of, again, why we haven't solved it is not only we were trying to fix a broken system, but it's also because so many of the women and the people that we need to stay in the corporate workplace to change the system have actually continued to leave. I believe it's about 40% of women leave the workplace after they have kids, right? So caregiving and flexibility and those policies are really, really important. So what does it take for us to walk our talk, right? The number of friends that I have, it's so interesting. I talk to all I do every year is work and advise with and collaborate with people that are driving diversity, culture, ERG, women's groups, and they're talking about strategy. And then yet I have this army of friends here. This one girlfriend works for one of the largest women's media companies, and they do all these things around women's initiatives, and yet they don't have strong parental leave. They have 8 weeks or something, or another person just developed a whole program and then yet she was not seen or acknowledged for it. And I just continue to hear all these stories that are not, where culture doesn't match copy, right? And so we are in a whole new paradigm shift, everyone. There is a massive movement happening out there, and I believe that the movement has hit women entrepreneurs, it has hit, social issues activists, but has it really truly hit the power of the global private sector? And so how many of you right now represent the private sector? I think almost the majority of people in this room. And I just want to say that this is our time, right? We have an unprecedented opportunity in this Time's Up movement where senior management is prioritizing diversity at a whole new level, and we have the opportunity to rise as corporate change agents. And so on that note, this 2 days is I am calling on a new breed of leaders. I'm calling on the rise of, and again, whether or not you work in a corporation, whether or not you started or run an organization, I don't care if you're entry level, you can lead from where you are. You can lead from where you are, and you do not need to be in charge to be a leader. And that's what these 2 days is about. And remember, the future, the destiny does not just happen to us, right? If we want a better future, when we reimagine the future of work, it is not something that's just gonna fall in our laps. We have to create it. We have to create the future. The future belongs to those who have the courage to create it. And so it is not something that happens just to us. We have to chase it. And the future belongs to the bold. And every privilege that we have today is because of people that were bold, that came before us to lead those changes. And so every single one of you represent something that you can do. And so the first step to these 2 days for you to rise as a leader, rise as a change agent, is rooted in 3 actions. And that is connect, educate, activate. They are the 3 pillars to S.H.E Summit, the S.H.E Summit experience, because we believe these are foundational actions that you have to take every single year to rise, for us to grow and develop as leaders. So connection is networking. I know a lot of you came with your teams and your groups, but I really encourage you these next 2 days to network and to go up to other people and be transparent, right? We have to be, and we have to truly show up and share who we are so that we can get to know each other and collaborate, because it takes that collaboration to accelerate. So Ernst & Young is sponsoring an incredible, interesting networking experience based on inclusion topics. Stop by their booth, grab stickers, topics like working parent to well-being, find signs around the event, and go network and talk to people about those topics. The second piece is, well, I hope all of you walk out of this experience with new relationships and new connections, because it takes that tribe for us to grow and drive change. Education, which is obviously learning these next 2 days. I just talked about 2 days of incredible sessions. We have 50 speakers over the next 2 days. And every piece that you hear, tweet it, document it, because these are the tools and these are the seeds that are being planted in you to then go back to your home, go back to your life, go back to your organization and your workplace, and actually continue those conversations and continue thinking about courageous conversations around inclusion and caregiving and all these interesting topics that we're trying to push you. This is all about fresh thinking and innovative ideas for you to bring back into your organization. And on that note, also download our app. If you go to the App Store and you type in Bizzabo, Bizzabo, just type in your email address that you registered S.H.E Summit with, and it'll pull up the S.H.E Summit conference, and you can read all the sessions and all the descriptions over the next 2 days. So education is learn and absorb and take those tools back with you. And the third is activate. So this is the most important piece, because after you've made those relationships and you've gotten this incredible energy and you have learned all these powerful nuggets and tools, is commit to taking an action. And you will, and it can be a small action, it can be a big action, it can be something you do at home, it could be something you do in your workplace, but commit to 1, 2, as many actions as you can. We have a commitment wall outside, and you'll see there's S.H.E Global, the S.H.E Global Lounge, there's a commitment wall. And I know I want to just quickly mention S.H.E Global, which is the company that creates S.H.E Summit. And we have launched a new website. This is the company that has been my baby for years, and it's the organization that goes inside organizations and helps companies and helps people like you, providing you tools and content and conferences inside your organization to actually activate, to actually drive change. So we've launched a whole new website. We've got a brand new logo, so you'll see the S.H.E Global Lounge. Please stop by and make a commitment on our commitment wall and fill out our survey, but just check it out. I'm so proud of it. And so just commit to that action. And we, S.H.E Global, are here to support you throughout the year with those actions. And so connect, educate, activate. Those are your first steps to rising as change agents these next 2 days. And I'm going to just close with, actually, do we have a slide of all the organizations that are here? Let's see if they pull that up as I'm talking. Awesome. Okay, so I want to just quickly thank all of our sponsors for these 2 days and just for helping us throughout the year and supporting us to make S.H.E Summit 2018 happen. And so I want to thank our thought leadership partners, Ernst & Young in the house, Weber Shandwick, and Bacardi. Woohoo! Our thought leadership partners. I want to thank our movement partners, ESPNW and Morgan Stanley. And most importantly, we really, really need to thank Audi, who has been an amazing company committed to driving progress for women in the workplace, driving diversity. They have been critical in convening these 2 days. They're our convening partner, and please stop by their booth outside for photos. And it's just, all of these partners have been such huge partners to work with, and we need that collaboration, right, to accelerate. And the delegations and all of you, I want to say 150 organizations sent their talent or teams to come to S.H.E Summit 2018. Samsung is in the house. I mean, Oliver Wyman, we have Home Depot, we have, there we go. Anyway, we have so many, list would go on. Bloomberg, I mean, it's just so incredible. And the thing is that when I look at these 150 organizations, and some of you sent 1 people, and some of you sent 40 people to this, and not to mention the thousands of you that are live streaming and watching through the live stream, because lots of your workplaces are sharing this with your colleagues and your global offices, is that when you look at the power of every single one of these organizations and every single one of you, think about number of employees you reach, okay? Morgan Stanley, 80,000 employees and their families, right? Like, think about driving impact in an organization. All of its value chain, its supply chain, all the people you touch there, your advertising and your marketing. We have an amazing topic tomorrow on the future of marketing and advertising and the impact that has on gender equality, to how you touch your customers. I would estimate that we probably impact billions and billions and billions of people just when you look at the aggregate of the power that we have watching virtually and in this room if we took actions to ripple effect change through our organizations. So thank you so much for showing up, and let's rise. Can we commit to rising these 2 days? Thank you. I will see you soon.